Okay, guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Now, fasten your seatbelts. Here we go. Okay, guys, it's me. I'm back. It is Wednesday, November 20th, and we are going to get into the Q post for today. And I have some people to thank, but I'm going to leave that to the end and jump right into the Q post. So here we go. Now, I'm a little bit discombobulated tonight. I've got a little bit of a different setup here, and I've got my microphone on the opposite side. I'm trying to see if that makes any difference because I'm starting to get some complaints about the tapping and so forth, sound of keys and mouse and so forth. So I'm trying to make that better for you guys. Let me know if this is better, worse, or no different. So there we go. But anyway, not only that, I didn't have as much time to prepare as I would have liked. I had to take my stepfather out of town for an appointment today, a medical appointment. So anyway, I think that we've got this part down anyway, and hopefully if my voice holds out, I have been having problems with it lately, but if it holds out, I'll do another news update as well. But for now, this video will be clearly Q posts. All right, so let's get into this. First, we have this post from Q. It's the first post, and he starts it off with a link. And let's go check this out. This is a Ukrainian website. And it says, MPs demand Zelensky-Trump investigate suspicion of U.S.-Ukraine corruption involving $7.4 billion. Yeah. Kiev, November 20th. Ukrainian members of parliament have demanded the president of Ukraine and the United States, Volodymyr Zelensky and Donald Trump, investigate suspicions of the legalization of $7.4 billion by the family of ex-president Viktor Yanukovych through the American investment fund, Franklin Templeton Investments, which they said has ties to the U.S. Democratic Party. Well, 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 what have we here? Remember when Q said, was it yesterday or the day before? I think it was yesterday. He said, it's over, there's no step 5, it's done. Well, I think it's done, folks. Anyway, at a press conference at the Interfax Ukraine Agency on Wednesday, MP Andriy Derkach announced that deputies have received new materials from investigative journalists about international corruption and the participation of Ukrainian officials in it. Last week, November 14th, the Prosecutor General's Office, PGO, unnoticed by the media, announced a new suspicion to the notorious owner of Burisma, ex-ecology minister Zlochevsky. According to the suspicion, the Yanukovych family is suspected in particular with legalizing laundering of criminally obtained income through Franklin Templeton Investments, an investment fund carrying out purchases of external government loaned bonds totaling $7.4 billion, Derkach said. With reference to the investigation, he emphasized it was money criminally obtained by the family of Yanukovych and invested in the purchase of Ukrainian debt in 2013-2014. For his part, MP Oleksandr Dubinsky from the Servant of the People faction said that according to investigators, the Yanukovych family illegally obtained $7.4 billion and laundered the funds through an investment fund close to some representatives of the U.S. Democratic Party in the form of external government loan bonds. Meanwhile, Derkach said that several facts indicate Franklin Templeton Investments' relationship with the U.S. Democratic Party. The son of Templeton's founder, John Templeton Jr., was one of President Obama's major campaign donors. Another fund-related character is Thomas Donilon, managing director of BlackRock Investment Institute, shareholder Franklin Templeton Investments, which has the largest share in the fund. It is noteworthy that he previously was Obama's national security advisor, Derkach said. The MP said that the president of Ukraine and the United States should combine the efforts of the two countries to establish facts of corruption and money laundering with the participation of citizens of both countries. President Zelensky must pick up the phone, dial Trump, ask for help and cooperation in the fight against corruption, and fly to Washington. The issue of combating international corruption in Ukraine with the participation of citizens, businessmen, and U.S. officials should become a key during the meeting of the two presidents, he said. Derkach said as a result of the meeting, it is necessary to build interaction between the Ukrainian investigating authorities and the U.S. Department of Justice to obtain information about the organizers of the bond issue, clients and beneficiaries of investment funds for each purchase, interrogate fund officials, etc. As reported on October 9th, Derkach published official correspondence between NABU and the U.S. Embassy, according to which the deputy of the National Anti-Corruption Bureau of Ukraine, NABU, Gizo Uglava, through his assistant, Polina Czech, for a long time provided the U.S. Embassy with information that negatively affected the course of events in Ukraine and the United States. Now, I am having difficulty with some of these names. I'm not used to pronouncing Ukrainian names, but we'll do the best we can here. So Derkach said Czech received instructions from the representative of the U.S. Embassy in Ukraine, Hanna Emelianova, to provide information on the case involving Zlochevsky. Derkach also announced the amount of money transferred to representatives of the Burisma Group, including Hunter Biden. Yes, including Hunter Biden. According to documents in general in favor of Hunter Biden, Alexander Kwanieski, Alan Apter, and Devin Archer, Burisma paid about 16.5 million. According to Derkach, ex-prosecutor general Viktor Shokin repeatedly appealed to the NABU director, Artem Sinek, in the framework of criminal proceedings for Burisma, but constantly received formal responses. The activities of Shokin, according to the MP, irritated then U.S. Vice President Joe Biden during his fifth visit to Kiev in 2 years. The visit on December 7th, 8th, 2015 was devoted to solving the issue of Shokin's resignation for the affairs of Zlochevsky and Burisma, he said. The subject of pressure was the $1 billion credit guarantee that the United States should have provided to Ukraine. Biden himself acknowledged the pressure in his speech to the U.S. Foreign Relations Council in January 2018, Derkach said. So this is interesting, and what's going to happen now? To me, I believe that the Ukrainians are cooperating with the U.S., with President Trump, to try to pinpoint this corruption, not just with the Bidens. There's a lot of them that had their hand in the Ukrainian pie, including the Clinton Foundation. Well, most importantly, the Clinton Foundation. Ukraine was the largest contributor to the Clinton Foundation. The largest contributor. What does that tell you? All right, now let's go back and see what else Q wants to tell us. All right, now, after that, Q asks us, what happens when the public discovers the truth, magnitude regarding the Democratic Party corruption? So he's saying not just what happens when the public discovers the truth, but what happens when the public discovers the magnitude, the sheer magnitude of the crimes committed by the Democratic Party and the depth of their corruption. What happens when the public discovers the truth regarding fake news? Coordination with the Democrat Party to conceal, shelter, and protect those criminally responsible. And we know that that is precisely what is happening. The mainstream news media, which is bought and paid for by the Democrats, I guess, they write whatever they are told to write. They report on whatever they're told to report, and they report in such a manner as to protect those who are guilty from being found out, all the while projecting onto those who are innocent. We're seeing that all the time with what's happening with Trump. So, what happens when the public discovers the truth regarding fake news? Coordination with Democrat Party to conceal, shelter, and protect those criminally responsible? Define projection. Well, I came over and I pasted this in here because obviously Q is talking about psychological projection. Psychological projection is a defense mechanism in which the human ego defends itself against unconscious impulses or qualities by denying their existence in themselves while attributing them to others. For example, a person who is habitually rude may constantly accuse other people of being rude. Or people that are criminals constantly accuse other people of being criminals. Adam Schiff, not shift. I wish he would shift into another consciousness. All right, so the Great Awakening, sheep no more. Where we go one, we go all. Q. So I think that is pretty self-explanatory, that one, and we're going to come down to the next. And Q says the following: all assets, foreign and domestic, being deployed. Some who once supported POTUS, sleepers, will have turned, Some who once supported POTUS, sleepers, will turn, puppets and puppet masters. So he's saying that some who said they supported Trump or did so in the past, they have and they will turn because there's a lot of pressure from the other side. And, if the Democrats have anything on them, then they're going to use that leverage and they're going to say, look, you're either going to play along or we're going to out what you did. So I think there's a lot of that happening. In fact, it may be happening with Adam Schiff because apparently, now, I don't know if this is a fact or not, so don't run with it and say, oh, Mishel said this, because I've heard this from several other people, but that doesn't make it a fact. But it's plausible that Nancy Pelosi has the video of the rape and subsequent cover-up murder of the young boy with Adam Schiff and is blackmailing him to kind of take the heat while she stays out of the limelight and kind of stays clean, so to speak. I don't know if that's true or not, but anyway, let's go on here. So some will or have turned. Control of narrative equals control of public opinion. And of course, because the opinion, if you are teaching something in a class and you are teaching something as fact, well, those students are going to leave that classroom thinking, okay, well, that was the fact. But if you are only giving one side of the story and being economical with the truth, leaving things out conveniently, omission or putting things in that aren't exactly true, but there's enough kernel of truth in there to make it palatable, then you will control what the public thinks about that particular topic. And that's happening every day, every single day on the mainstream media. So control of public opinion equals power, of course. If you can control the public's opinion, then you've got power. Everything is at stake. And when he says everything, I'm pretty sure he means everything. Old guard power structure being destroyed, and it has been being destroyed for more than 2 years now. So the old guard power structure is being destroyed. Washington Civil War. There's a civil war going on in Washington, and we can see that ourselves just by watching this whole impeachment sham and fiasco. Washington Civil War, control the narrative. That is what the war is over. Which side will control the narrative? Previous exposure of truth, self-preservation, fighting for survival, information warfare, Q. And that's exactly what is happening. Information warfare. They are fighting for their survival, and they're probably fighting for their self-preservation because they don't want to spend the rest of their days in prison, because some of them don't have a lot of days left. They're not getting any younger. Some of these guys are, up there in age, and they don't want to spend the rest of their life in prison. So they're fighting for their self-preservation. They're fighting for survival. And they do that through controlling the narrative, information warfare. So there you go. That is what is happening in Washington. Not telling you guys anything that you don't already know, but it is nice when Q just puts it succinctly like that and says, yeah, this is what's going on. Now, here is the next Q post. And again, here is a document. I have looked at this document previously, and I have probably brought it up on this program previously, if I'm not mistaken. But let's go take a look at what it is. And beneath it, Q says, these people are stupid. Q. Yeah. They're beyond stupid. I think that they're stupid on steroids. They're like colossally stupid. I don't know. There's got to be some bigger way to say it. Brain dead, perhaps. All right. Now, what is this we're looking at? Pray tell. Well, look at this. And I know we have covered this before. Now, I'm not going to cover every page because it's 31 pages long, and that's all we do tonight. And most of you would be nodding off before the end. So, yeah. Well, and it's not necessary, to tell you the truth. But what this is it's a treaty with Ukraine on mutual legal assistance in criminal matters. Now, this is a treaty. A treaty. We have a treaty with Ukraine that we will cooperate and they will cooperate back with any mutual legal assistance in criminal matters. So if the Ukraine is trying to investigate something that involves the U.S., as it is, and the Obama administration, then the U.S. has already signed a treaty saying that they will assist, and vice versa. And message from the President of the United States, treaty between the United States of America and Ukraine on mutual legal assistance in criminal matters with annex, signed at Kiev on July 22nd, 1998, and with an exchange of notes signed on September 30th, 1999, which provides for its provisional application. And they can't even say that, well, President Trump, put this into effect so he could, affect the outcome of the 2020 election by getting dirt on Joe Biden. No, this happened a long time before Trump even probably thought of running for president. So just saying, how do you argue with that? So there you go. Now, I don't think we have to go through all this. Really, I don't. So let's go back. So actually, they're arguing back and forth about something that's really a non-starter, because we do have a treaty. We are to help each other in criminal investigations. And if the whole Burisma thing is not criminal, then I don't know what is. So let's go back here now and go on. And here is the next Q post. And again, we have a link. Now, I have gone and I've cut that link out for you. It is a YouTube, not a YouTube, Twitter page. I don't know what I'm saying. And this is what it is. Breaking News Live just got their account suspended after posting this story. Now, Breaking News Live, that's a big account. I mean, I don't know. I think everybody in the Patriot movement anyways is subscribe to them or follow them on Twitter because, you know, they bleep out all these or they tweet out rather, all these little news items that are just kind of encapsulated and kind of gives you a heads up on what the news is, which I like. But here's what they tweeted today. Breaking news, head of Ukrainian Burisma gas company indicted. That's right. Head of the Ukrainian Burisma gas company indicted. Hunter Biden named, accepting millions more from slush fund. And over here, a few minutes later, account suspended. So I guess, you know, the powers that be don't want that news to get out there. I don't know how they're going to stop it. I mean, yeah, they can do what they do, which is censor, censor, censor. And it's getting worse. It's not getting any better. So that is quite alarming, if you ask me. Very alarming, because they're just tweeting the news, straight news. So since when is news censored? Well, I guess since Trump became president, because they don't like him. So anything that kind of corroborates what he has been saying about Burisma and so forth is suspect in their minds. So it says control of narrative equals control of public opinion. Control of public opinion equals power. How do you control the narrative? Information warfare, Q. And that is exactly what that is. It's information warfare. Same thing with YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, pretty much all of them. There are a few good ones. And yes, I am going to be uploading my videos to, what's it called? BitChute. So it seems that that's the favored place for everyone to go. So I am going to get that set up and start uploading there as a backup, because who knows what's going to happen with YouTube, although YouTube has denied that they will be taking down accounts. So I don't know. I don't know if we have the correct story about what's going to happen with YouTube, because people are saying just come December 10th, they're going to be taking down sites that are not financially viable. However, somebody copied me in something to YouTube, and so I got the reply, and they basically said, well, that's not correct. It's misinformation, and we're not going to be taking down accounts just because you're not monetized. So I don't know what is going on, but I want to be prepared nonetheless. Let's go on. I'm hearing cats doing cat things. All right, and this is the last one, at least for now. The night is still young, and Q is probably still posting, but I will probably have to, if Q continues to post tonight, I'll probably have to catch up with those tomorrow and bring those to you. But let's hit on this one for now. Excuse me. I had to be so careful not to slurp. Okay. The Clinton Foundation, quid pro quo, internal alarm, how to frame / defend. Read carefully. We're going to look at the link in a second here. Read carefully. Note, Podesta emails, non-public, internal. Fact, Ukraine is the single largest Clinton Foundation donor. Coincidence? Q. Let's go out and see what Q is wanting us to see here. You know, just for kicks and giggles. All right. Well, we have this, an email. And let's look at this. They are, well, I'll read it first and then we will discuss a bit. Agree with Jen. Also tend to agree with her going before him. Anything other than her talking quid pro quo. Okay, sorry. Agree with Jen. Also tend to agree with her going before him. Anything other than her taking quid pro quo off the table, including what would say first. Won't take questions about her actions off the table. Joel Benson, Benson Strategy Group. So, and this one, Benson Strategy Group, on April 29th, 2015, it's going to Mandy Grunwald. What do you think? No, it's coming from Mandy. I don't know. What do you think she needs to do? Oh, why do you think she needs to do this before WJC? Now, I don't know what WJC stands for, to tell you the truth. And if I had a little bit more time to think about it and go through, I might have been able to figure out, but I can't. If any of you guys know, please put it in the comments below because I would appreciate that. And then on April 29th, 2015, this is Robbie Mook. That was Hillary Clinton's campaign director for her failed presidential bid in 2016. It says, ditto with John, would need to be prepared for more, but would be fantastic to limit to one. And on Wednesday, 29th, John Podesta, fine with the proposed way of handling what she says, but hard setting to take only one question. And then Jennifer Palmieri said, first, thanks to all for the marathon session today. I thought we got a lot of good work done. Second, I wanted to follow up on Hillary Rodham Clinton's idea of doing the video. Having thought about it and talked to Craig and Maura about it, I don't think it is a good idea for her to do. There aren't great answers, and in many cases, not her place to answer them. But I think it does make sense for her to publicly state that she never did anything at state to help a donor. Philippe has been a proponent of this. She should frame it this way. So, what is happening here is this is about all the donations to the Clinton Foundation and how she is going to answer to this because of these donors. I guess I don't exactly, because to me, there's a lot of back and forth and I'm not exactly sure what is going on here. I don't think it is a good idea for her to do. There aren't great answers and in many cases, not her place to answer them. And then he says she should frame it this way. 1, she's very proud of the Clinton Foundation work. 2, she thinks people donated to it because they want to support good works. 3, if anyone did ever give money in hopes of influencing something state did, they are foolish because she never did that and never would. SOS makes life and death decisions and those kinds of political considerations don't come into play. So they're trying to work out how she should frame this because people have given to her Clinton Foundation, she wants to avoid the appearance that it's a quid pro quo and that they are receiving good from it. But they are telling her to say, well, no, I'm very proud of the work the Clinton Foundation does, and people donate to it just because they want to support good works, not because they're expecting anything in return. Right. So, well, if that's the case, why in 2016, because Clinton Foundation is apparently doing the same work that it's always done, so why in 2016 did the donations just, plummet? Why? Because she had no power to offer anybody anything anymore. That's why. So, yeah. And then he says, at least this way, she will have taken off the table any notion that there was a quid pro quo, even if some donors may have had bad intentions. Right. It was the donors that had bad intentions. Sure. If we did this, think we should do before WJC interview airs on Monday. I'm trying to think of what Walls. I'm not sure. Interview airs on Monday, which may mean that tomorrow is the last chance she will be in front of the press. They won't be at fundraisers, but will probably be outside them, so she could take a question. What do others think? Sent by my iPhone. And I don't know. I don't think there's any more there. But yeah, so they're discussing how are we going to deal with this? Because it looks like because she was in the State Department that people were giving into the Clinton Foundation because it was quid pro quo. But they're discussing how she's going to handle that with the press. How interesting. Very. Now let's go back here. And it says read carefully. Note, Podesta emails are non-public. They're only internal. The public is not entitled to read them. Fact, Ukraine is the single largest Clinton Foundation donor. Coincidence? I don't think so. Of course it's not coincidence. Now, as far as I know, that is up to date on the Q post for today. But, like I said, today's not over with. Let's go out and just while we're here, let's go out and see if there have been any additional things posted here. Before I finish this video, anyway, we'll check on that. Nope, we are up to date at post 3611, which was posted at 2103, which is 9:03, I believe. And I would assume that's Eastern time. So there you go. We are up to date with Q. Now, I do want to thank a few people that I very much appreciate. And let's do that. Then we will end this video. And I think my voice should be okay for a short news video, just to touch on the highlights anyway. And we'll do that in the next video. So let me go back up here to where we were, and I want to thank the following coffee donors: Barbara F., Kate Magdalena. I love that last name. That is so beautiful, Kate Magdalena. And Mississippi Mendy. She said, perhaps an additional GoFundMe campaign for a SCIF, a secured, candle-free, incombustible facility for the cats. I agree with that. That would be a very good idea. So, or I could just not burn candles anymore so that I don't set any of my cats on fire because, well, that wouldn't be a happy day for anybody. And also to Anon, thank you very much for your donations. There is a cat scratching underneath my chair here. Excuse me while I use the Acme Cat Be Gone. Probably won't work, but I've always got to try. Also, Patreon, Lynn increased her pledge, so thank you very much, Lynn. And snail mail, I got a snail mail today. Allison M. from Mount Vernon, Ohio. She sent a wonderful card letter, which I enjoyed reading, and a donation. Thank you so much, Allison. I really appreciate it, and I enjoyed your letter. So that is it for tonight. And, well, it's it for this video, but, you know, hang around, because I think I'm going to be posting another one. Yeah, I think I will. You can't stop me. All right, guys. Well, you guys stay safe, stay well, stay blessed, and keep seeking truth, because deception bites.